All right, so the market is closed. This is a recap and a prep for tomorrow. Just the recap for today, Thursday, August 22nd. And, little prepare for tomorrow, what to expect from the markets tomorrow morning. Oil. Yesterday we talked about the importance of that 56, right? I have a mark on my charts. That white line, that's 56 number. We talk about that we've been working inside this channel on this nice move on oil. Very important that they held this 56, because if not, we were going to break to the 55 number. Well, they gave us 55 and change with some stops, not enough to run it to 55 even, but that could be a potential coming in tomorrow morning or tonight during Globex. I don't know. We are currently printing 55.40 before Globex open. If you go to the profile, on the way down today, on this profile, we left singles on our chart all the way at 56. That's when they dropped at 56. So we left them between 56.04 and 55.96. So looking into the bigger picture on oil. All right, let me show you the bigger picture on oil. We've been talking about it for the week, what to expect. And this morning, yesterday, we were pretty confident that we were getting out of this range and moving higher. Well, today, you're starting to see value developing lower on oil, right? We actually settle inside this range, and I'll show you what that range is. The range that we have in oil. So you can see it right here. This is the balance area that we've been working on. That's the one that we broke out of it, and they gave us the 57. Now we're back inside these 55 numbers. So coming inside here, finding acceptance in this level, that's going to give us that 54 and eventually the 53.83, which is the bottom, the downside move on the balance area. We have a couple of point of controls that we have not revisited at 54.69 and at 54.38. So the break of 55 number will expose a potentially move to those two targets on oil. Eventually, I'll be looking for that 54 even, but before we get all excited about that, we need to find acceptance below the 55. Currently, we're printing 55.40 on the CL. It's about 4:10 Eastern time. Looking at the volume, I have the volume profile for the week right here that I want to share with you guys on the CL. Couple of things to note. Last week, as we did this move to 57, volume was not there, non-existent. Well, this week, quite a different story. We have pretty much accepted and conducted a lot of business on that 56 number. On the way down, look at where we could be stopping, right on those 54.40, 54.60 numbers that we have as potential point of controls that we could revisit in oil. So look for those numbers coming in tonight or tomorrow morning. Very important to follow what's going on oil on those numbers. To the ES, well, the ES guys, weekly right now for this week, right? For the week that we are in, currently we are developing this value, this value higher on the ES. But if you look, the structure doesn't look that good. Point of control for the week, it is 29.24.50. The market is settling down right now, right on top of it, right on top of it at 29.22. Very important to factor that in. Early on today, we have some news. It was kind of crazy on the ES. Jackson Hole tomorrow, so we have to be very careful tomorrow. We left a bunch of singles early on. Those singles were repaired, so you don't see them anymore on our charts. But there were some very nice amount of singles between C and A early on, between C and B, That B, we left a bunch of signals right here. Those singles have been taken care of, right? Taken care of on M and other periods. They did eventually move them up. The other set of singles were right here on the drop. That was again because of the Fed, some Fed speakers on TV that gave us the move down to 29.04. If you look, that was the pullback low that we talk about since Tuesday, right? That was the pullback low from Tuesday. We talk about it. There was no acceptance. Came in today with this news and kind of tagged it a little bit. On the way down, we have a bunch of references. Yesterday on the video, I talked about the importance of 29.29 and the importance of 29.32, 36, and 42s. Well, today it was pretty good. I mean, some of the guys, they were able to grab some of those points at 39. I did a couple of trades on the way down on the flush with those news. Didn't get this 39. I tried and I make a really bad trade on it. Got it stopped out myself out of it. But it was a good trade. It was a really nice trade on the way down. We were able to capture some pretty good amount of points. Coming in tomorrow, we are stuck right in the middle. If you look at these point of controls from Monday, point of control for Wednesday, and we left now the point of control right here. But if you were to put together that whole week, look where the value is being developed for the week, right? You can see clearly how this value is incorporated between the 29.10, 08, 29.08, and the 29.30s. Very important numbers to come in tomorrow to look at those reference, right? Reference for tomorrow. One number that I'm paying close attention is that 29.18. It has been since yesterday, since Tuesday, kind of on the back of my head of what they did right here on Wednesday at that 18. They did it again overnight, and they did it again today on that drop and on the recovery. Let me show you what they did. So on the way up, right, when we were dropping and we were coming back into the initial balance, that 29.18 was key. It was tagged a couple of times. So this tells you where the buyers are, the battle of the buyers and the sellers. So sellers are trying to push the market below that 18 and they just cannot get it going. They tried last night. They couldn't get it going. They just couldn't get on this move back to 2,900. So that 29.18 is going to be a good reference to have in your charts. Please mark it down. That is actually Tuesday open. For some reason, I mean, Tuesday, let me show you what happened, right? So here is Tuesday morning. We open right there, and the buyers, they tried to go up, and they just couldn't. So they sold the market. The buyers tried to regain control, and they just couldn't. We sold off the whole afternoon on Tuesday. Well, Wednesday was a different picture. I mean, Wednesday, we rolled all the way up. If you look at this overnight, let me include that overnight for a minute to show you what happened, right? Let me show you what happened on that move. Here is the move that I was talking about on Tuesday, On Tuesday, so buyers trying to get control of that, then the sellers just gave us the move down. But if you look at the overnight, I mean, you went below the 2,900 and then you shoot out back all the way to that 2,930 level. So this tells you they don't want to give in onto that 2,900 number. They just don't want to give it back to the sellers. Today, even with the news with these Fed speakers, right, on TV, they couldn't get it to that 2,900, guys. We stopped right at 425, right? And buyers took control of the market again. When they got to that 18, that was key for me. Right? And the guys in the room I was talking, that 18 is going to be key. That initial balance, if we respect that initial balance, look for those singles. Well, some of the guys got it really well, really nice trades to the top of those singles. So coming in tomorrow, what is going to be important, now that we are sitting right in the middle, what's going to happen at Jackson Hole? How's the firecracker event for tomorrow is going to be that way to 42 or this way to 2,900. Being right here, right in the middle of this balance area is going to be tough early in the morning tomorrow. So my advice to you is wait for the trade to come to you. Don't go looking for a trade, okay? Do yourself a favor, trade something else, trade the oil. We're trying to do that before we open the market. And that's all I got for you guys. It was really important for you to mark every single reference. Please, here is the halfback for today at 29.22. Point of control for today, we left it at 29.23. I'm looking at the settlement, it's already 317, and it looks like we are going to settle right there at 29.21 and a half, 175. So if you look at the settlement, right, we are right at halfback. Today's halfback, that's where we are closing. We are only 3 points away from this 18, right? And then you have this big move. If we were to drop this 18, we know this 10 is going to be into place, all fours, and then eventually that 2900 to the downside. To the top, 32s, 36, 42s. I'm not changing those numbers. Why 32? That is Monday high for the week. Well, not for the week, for Monday, excuse me. That was Monday's high. Has been a point where sellers are trying to get control of the market and just get short the market. 36, why? Because it's the top of the balance. And 42, because this is the level that before there was a lot of back and forth between buyers and sellers. That 42 that you see right here comes all the way from June 19th or 18th. Go look at your charts. This was a battle that happened where we tried to get down here, and eventually right on June 28th we took over that 42, and that's the number that gave you the whole move up to 3030 or whatever that all-time high is. So we're going to have a hard time. We will have a hard time getting through it, but we know where we're going, right? We go inside this 42, we'll be looking for 63s, 64s in the market. And with that, I'm going to let you go. Wish you guys a good night. Hope to see you tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. in the morning.